You're locked in to the show that covers wrestling for over 13 years after Monday Night Raw live. This is the Joe Cronin Show. 76,000 subscribers, 80 million views, and a whole bunch of salty former pussy co-hosts. This is the Mecca of live wrestling content. This is Monday Night! Did Monday Night Raw live up to the night after WrestleMania? Did it live up to the build? Did it live up to the hype? The Raw after WrestleMania 41. Randy Orton attacks John Cena. Braun Breaker is with Seth freaking Rollins. And Dominic Mysterio has the mullet of a sexual saint. If you're in the chat, hit that like button. Hey, we even got to see Joe Testosterone tonight. Does it get any better than that? You love get to see Joe Testosterone. Good old Joey Testosterone was there tonight. That's beautiful, isn't it? You know, there was a lull in Raw, and Raw went longer. Raw went about 3 hours. Pretty amazing there. Didn't see that coming. They needed some extra time. Braun Breaker is with Seth Rollins, maybe forming a little bit of a stable. I love that Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins had a plan, essentially. And their plan was to have a little backup in Braun Breaker. Maybe there's more. I don't know. Maybe it's just Rollins and Breaker, but maybe there's another. Or maybe even more that we don't know about. The show is like a stock chart. Yeah, he kind of did it with AOP. Yeah, Ghost. There's a lot of things that we've kind of seen before, but I mean, it was a fun ending. It was a fun beginning to the show. It was a fun ending, and Rusev returned. Rusev with horrible music. I don't know what that music was for Rusev, but that was one thing that stuck out 100% negatively to me was the Rusev music. I was like, man, get him some better stuff than that. You know? Heyman found younger, faster, stronger Roman Reigns. Yeah. He milks them dry, baby. That's what Paul Heyman does. He milks them till they're dry. You know? Gotta love it. Milk them till they're dead. Paul Heyman. Brilliant. Love it. How's everybody doing on a Monday night? It was better than Mania. Best Raw after Mania in years. Dude, I honestly thought we were all gonna say the Raw sucked. I thought we were gonna say this Monday Night Raw wasn't very good. Because all we really got was, the Cena stuff at the beginning, and then after that, everything was just kind of like, whatever. And then, they did the attack on the announcers angle, which I like that. That made that kind of stuck out a little bit, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. But this really converted the show for me. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was ready to give this Monday Night Raw probably a 6 out of 10 because I just didn't think the excitement was there. But I appreciated the opening. I really liked the opening with Cena and then Orton. Loved that. And I everything else was all right. And then I loved the announcers, the attack on the announcers. That was just kind of like, wow, okay, all right, let's do something kind of crazy. It's Raw after Mania. But I thought that's how things were going to end mostly. And and then Punk came out, and I'm like, all right, this will be a little bit of a better ending. Then Seth stood on top of Punk, and I'm like, well, that's how it's going to end again. And then Roman came out, and then Braun Breaker came out, and finally the excitement was finally there and building, is what I'm trying to say. So that's what you want. You want some excitement Raw after Mania, and you want like 3 or 4 like kind of crazy events to happen. You had a tag team championships flip, change hands tonight. You had Becky Lynch turn heel, which makes sense because for her and Seth Rollins to be together and for her to be this goody two-shoes and then Rollins to be this evil bastard doesn't really make sense. It kind of hurts it. So that makes sense to make Becky Lynch just a bitch. You got to do that. So I 100% am in love with the idea that they did that tonight. So good job, because there would have been those questions otherwise. There would have been people saying that, or it would have just seemed off to people. And so I think this really answered that. So good job with Becky Lynch turning. So that was good. I'm going to go to Discord in just a few minutes. I know there's some people over there. Chat, I hope you guys can please click that like button. If you guys are brand new tonight, I hope you subscribe, whether you came from the Facebook, Twitter world, X, whatever it is, or wherever you're just viewing us. I hope you guys can subscribe if you're brand new. And if you want to commit to something, become a member if you can. That would help the show out a lot if you became a member. And, of course, if you really want to tickle me down below and make me crazy, then all you have to do is use Streamlabs to donate, pinned to the top of the chat. I will put the top donator up here up top so that you are fully displayed like a nude model. And we all love to caress a nude model. Teasing the Sammy turn, says Mastodon. That could be happening too. Zach McNulty. There's so much to talk about Raw after Mania. Did it live up to the hype? How do you see Orton's surprise entrance? How do you see Orton's surprise? I loved it, Jinsai. I loved it. First of all, you had the sign, Hogan fears unions. I thought that was funny. But no, I loved it. I thought Orton appearing out of nowhere, licking his lips from the bottom of the screen suddenly was kind of funny. I thought that was really well done. That was really fun. Really well done. Great stuff to see. I loved it. And like I said, throughout the night was mediocre after that. Up until, even the Becky Lynch turn and stuff, I was like, okay. But they did a lot of things tonight. I think I'm always somebody who thinks they can do more, right? I always think that they can do more, or they can go a little bit further with some stuff. I would have liked to see an outside assault or a car crash or something outside the arena to take us out of the atmosphere that we were in for a straight 3 hours. I would have appreciated that. All we were missing is something like that. There's not as many good backstage segments anymore or creative backstage things, I'm talking about back in the day when like AOP had the little poker games in the back and people were getting beat up at bars and, there was just stuff going on. Not a lot of that now. Now it's just sort of an interview in the back or someone gets beat up in the back, normal. Take us out of the same atmosphere a little bit sometimes. But we're nitpicking a little bit here. This was a great moment. Hogan fears unions. I don't know why that is funny. Cena's whole opening was great. 20-something minutes. Almost 30 minutes. It was 25 minutes. The whole Cena opening with Randy Orton. Granted, they had a WrestleMania package that went on for like 10 years that was like, a highlight of WrestleMania and what went on at WrestleMania and whatever else. But yeah, it went on for a while. I released so many shorts about Stone Cold Steve Austin's ATV thing. I mean, there are so many angles of him missing the ramp, and the guy looks drunk. So I'll answer that later. We already talked about it a lot last night, but there's a few new stories and a few new things to pick up on today. But overall, to me, this Raw ended up taking off by the end. That ending was the feather in the cap, or honestly, the ending is what put it all together for me. While watching this, before Seth Rollins was coming out, I thought Raw was over because I was like, oh, it's 10:30. This is it. That was it. That was Raw after Mania. Okay, the announcer attack, that's kind of interesting. And The John Cena opening was phenomenal, and I guess Becky Lynch turned heel, tag team titles changed, but man, that did not feel like a Raw after Mania. And then you know, whatever. Like, it's like, that's pretty good, but is this Raw after Mania? But for some reason, the Seth Rollins coming out, I didn't expect it. And so I was like, oh, cool, good. We're hearing from Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman. That makes sense. Great. They're running longer. Perfect. And then, you know, CM Punk coming out, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty cool. And they beat up CM Punk. And then Roman comes out. That's even cooler. And then the Breaker surprise, I mean, that's even cooler. So now you've really built up credibility with me with a great opening, some good stuff, some okay stuff in the middle, and then a great closing. And when you do that, honestly, when you have a great opening and a great closing, that already gets you really good points. I mean, the Attitude Era lived off of that stuff, right? Sometimes a lot of the stuff in the middle of the 2 hours wasn't always great, right? Los Pariquas versus, you know, the Bikers, and then, like, you know, I don't know, like Taka Michinoku versus Chains, and then, you know, like Owen Hart versus a mystery opponent with a mask or something. And then it would be Stone Cold and Vince McMahon. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the opening and the close matter a lot. And then if you can get something in the middle that's kind of shocking, and, you know, I think the Becky Lynch thing is, the tag titles change is, and then, you know, the attack on the announcers by Gunther, and then you get, you know, Dominic Mysterio having a pretty good match with Penta. You know, that really helped. I mean, all the stuff in the middle was a 6 or 7. And the opening and closing were I think were 8s, you know, or 7s, whatever. And so therefore that really helped out this Raw. I know you guys have a lot to say about it. There's people donating right now. If you want to donate, Streamlabs is pinned to the top of the chat. Use that to click on and donate to the show if you want. Don't forget we have the brand new $55 Elon donation, which a lot of people loved a few months ago when we launched it. That's there. The $10 Rock in Your Soul dono. A lot of people still disappointed about the Raw, but this Raw did a pretty good job of whatever you thought of Mania. This Raw felt like, okay, we're going to kick off that new time period. I think they could have gone a little further with some of the stuff, but this was pretty good. So that's what I think. We're going to put the poll up right now. We're going to take some donations, calls, and everything else. Plus, I'm going to go over to Discord, and I know there's people waiting there, and we'll get to that as well.
Super Chat Party.
And we're going to take Super Chats, too.
New Dangerous Alliance?
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of a redo for Seth Rollins of so many other things, you know? Stuff didn't work with Paul Heyman and Seth, and, like, the AOP, and there's kind of a couple of other things that have sort of been done, I guess, in a way already. So we're kind of redoing them again, but... you know, that's fine. I don't even care. Honestly, what I liked what was happening so much that I wasn't thinking like, oh, no, they've already done this, and how many times are they going to do this? Or, you know, this is, you know, whatever. I didn't think that. I thought, no, this is cool. Like, I didn't even think like, oh, no, they've done this. This is stupid. I mean, my mind wasn't even on that. So that's good. That's good. My mind wasn't even there because I was just, like, enjoying what was going on. So anytime that, you know, you're enjoying what's going on and you're not worried about that. Then Becky Lynch turned on her opponent, on her partner rather, went heel, and that was great. And, you know, at this point, we're getting WrestleMania recaps up the yin-yang everywhere. I'll tell you what, the package for Jey Uso was beautiful. What a fucking beautiful package for Jey Uso. That was great. The New Day came out. They actually seemed like assholes finally for once. They kind of did a good job finally of seeming like pricks. They actually look like jackoffs now. Like I've been waiting for this. Like waiting for the New Day to finally look like jerk-offs. And I don't know why it took them winning the titles to do that. I don't know why they couldn't have been even better than this all along. And I still don't think we're there yet, but we'll see if we get there.
So get down on your knees before us. Raise your hands to the sky and scream out in unison. Thank for the new day. It's better than your boys, the new day. We couldn't beat the War Raiders. And we did.
It'd be nice if the New Day spoke a little bit slower. And then, everybody thinks we're going to get, oh my God, a big tag team match. Here comes this tag team match. But no, Rusev comes out and interrupts it and just beats the shit out of everybody. So that's the first hour of Raw. First hour of Raw, pretty much going to give the first hour of Raw, probably a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10 maybe. Just a complete 7.5 or 8 out of 10 from Raw at the beginning. Maybe I'll give it a 7 because I'm still not there with some of the stuff, but it was nice. Rusev's back. I don't think he had good music. I really think that they got to work on Rusev's music. I mean, am I alone in that? Rusev's music was not good. I wanted to give him something like this, where is it? Was this it? Not that. This would have been better right here. That's Rusev! We've heard the rumors all week long about this man being back! And he's heading to the ring now! Anything. I mean, that's not really that great either. But I'm just saying, whatever he had for music was not what that doesn't sound right. It didn't sound right to me. So once again, the music is failing, in my opinion, WWE. I'll have to listen to his music again, maybe a couple of times. He obviously doesn't have his old music, I don't think, or anything like that. Or maybe did I mishear it? I don't know. I didn't have the best hearing on Rusev when he came out because I was in the kitchen cooking some salmon. My kids were hungry, and I was making food, and I had it on my phone. I was listening. I was like, this does not sound good. I mean, maybe it's the phone, but like I said, please do better with the music. They've got to get somebody to fix the music situation in WWE. It is abysmal right now. Not good.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years.
General Santos.
In all that time have I ever felt, until last Sunday, that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
The dogs are barking woof woof ura ruff ruff. Innocent until proven guilty. Garguts, you are not date rapist, allegedly,
wow.
But you will always be a BTEC Filipino Hispanic liability to our culture. You drink beer, I drink nigger's blood.
Okay. Wow.
And look at his look.
Wow.
How he looks.
Look at his look, how he looks.
I cannot believe that Streamlabs read that.
Look at his look that he looks. Look what he looks like, a crook. I'm coming for you, crook in the nook. I'm coming for you. I look like a crook.
And look at his look. How he looks.
Look at his look, how he looks. Look at his look, how he looks. Look at his look, how he looks. Look at his look, you get shook. Look at his look, you getting shook. Look at his look, how he looks. Look at his look, he looking like a crook. Look at his look, he looking kinda shook. Look at his look, look at his look, how he looks. Look at his look, how he looks.
Hey Joe,
Hey.
Thoughts on the new Netflix show WWE Unreal? Triple H stated he liked it better when people didn't. Not yet. He is going to be in a show where they lift the curtain and expose everything.
I'm starting to really get angry. I don't know if you can sense that, but I'm starting to get really angry with Triple H. And if you want to hit the record button at home on your own phones or desktops or whatever, this is probably going to be the time to do that. Because I don't understand how Triple H can go on a show just the other day, just a little while back, not long ago. He goes on a show and he complains about the fact that everything is broken kayfabe and the fans don't make it fun, and he wishes that it was like the old days because this is the reason that it's not great anymore. And Triple H constantly says this now in different interviews. Let's watch.
I mean, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
What you didn't like, and if it worked for you or didn't work for you. You watch it totally differently. Right? You watch the product totally differently.
He's right about that.
It ruins it for people. The world was so much better when nobody knew.
Oh yeah, and the world was so much better when, in the middle of a huge storyline going to WrestleMania, you don't come out there and say, "Well, we thought it was, I asked Cena if he wanted to go heel, and he said yeah, and we're on a ride right now." How about that? What do you like? What? This is the most craziest crap ever. Like, we're mad at everybody and all the critics, but I'm going to come out and expose everything and break the fourth wall every single time we do anything? Guys, what are we talking about here? What is Triple H saying? I mean, I agree with him, but at the same time, what is he saying? What? You what? You
So it's like you literally, Triple H, oh no, Triple H.
It's too bad we can't go back because they really ruined it. It's really ruined because all the fourth wall is broken and everybody knows.
Well, then why are you like the fucking mascot for that? How can you say you don't like that? You're the goddamn messiah of it. The most famous fourth wall break of all time involves you, the four of you, in a ring, hugging like a bunch of cock blowers.
Screw the business. We're friends, and they all know it. So let's show it. Let's grow it. Let's flow it. Let's let it fly. Because screw the old man and screw kayfabe. These people know what's up.
Also, you got a show called LFG. Did you forget about that, you fuck? And on top of that, you're the guy that went on Tough Enough, or the first fucking Tough Enough, or whatever it was, and you stood in the ring there and said,
"Gonna take a bump? Go ahead, take a bump. You gotta sell it. If you sold like that for me in the ring, I'd hit you for real."
How about LFG? It's going on right now. Now there's another show about how it's all fake. There's another fucking show about how it's all fake. You fuck! You know why your nose is so big, Triple H? Because Bret Hart might have been right, Triple H. Bret Hart might have been right. Every time Pinocchio lies, the schnoz gets bigger.
And it gets bigger, and it gets bigger, and it gets bigger than your head, than your 1 hour and 7 minutes of Hall of Fame speech. But Bret the Hitman Hart, take 2 minutes, you cocksucker, because Steve Austin needs 2 minutes too. Because before WrestleMania, Steve Austin is going to have a couple of Steve Weisers, and then Steve Austin is going to drive an ATV that he drives every single day on his ranch, his farm. He's got a license. He got a racing company. He's got all kinds of practice. Backwards, forwards, through the cones, over the cones, up the pit, down the pit, in the cave, in the sand, in the grass, off the road, on the road. Different tires, winter, weather, summer, sizzling all the time. And Stone Cold Steve Austin suddenly doesn't know how to drive up the fucking ramp. And he drives down into the abyss of nowhere, much to the dismay of all the crew who frantically, "No, Steve, drive up the ramp." And then Steve comes down the ramp, drives around the ring like a reckless son of a bitch, and damn near makes some bitch pretend to kill herself.
And the nose is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger and bigger. Bigger and bigger. Because I am the game. The Triple H. It's growing and growing and growing. Behold the nose of H. It's real big. Bow down to my nose. Bow down to my nose. My schnoz extended again. It keeps on growing every lie that I say. Even though CM Punk knows that I'm nuts, he'll do what he's told. He'll shut the fuck up, or I'll sit his ass. Leave him broken in glass. Bow down to my nose. Bow down to my nose. Bow down to my nose. Yeah. That's what happens when last week you say that you're tired of the fourth wall breaking and things were really better when, people didn't know it wasn't real. And when people believed in it, it was so much better. But then you come on press conferences after every show and destroy the entire thing. And then you do a show like LFG, and now you're promoting another behind-the-scenes show. What's it called? Unreal or Unwritten or something? What the fuck? What? Do you even know that you say these things? I don't even know if you know. Does anyone say to Triple H, hey, H, what the fuck are you talking about? Have you ever looked in the mirror and realized that nothing you say makes any fucking sense anymore? God damn it, bro. Somebody send this clip to Road Dogg and Triple H and fucking X-Sack, because what the fuck, bro? You know what you need? You need the old Joe Cronin, and you got him! Because I ain't gonna get a job in WWE. It's already gone, so what the fuck do I have to lose? I'm not gonna dial shit back anymore, you cocksuckers, all right? I'll show up in the front row, and I'll pull out my privates, and I'll show them to Michael Cole. And when Michael Cole looks over and goes, oh my God, there's a fan with his dick, I'll call the fucking security. And the security come to arrest me, I'll make sure as they're pulling me away, and and sure, I'll have a yellow and red dot over my house on Google for a long time. Hell, I might even be registered at that point as an offender. But I'll make sure that that one shot hits Cole right in the fucking eye. Oh! And I'm going to say it out loud. I'll say, Cole, that's for Triple H. That's for his lies. And somewhere Bret Hart will be inside of his mistress. And he'll say, that's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. I like that fan. And then Bret Hart will tweet out, that was pretty funny. And I'll take that tweet or that X. Oh, it's Twitter. It's X. It's X. I don't know, Elon. And I'll frame the fucking thing and I'll hang it right up there on this very wall. And I'll jerk off on it too. That's what I'll do. And you're watching this now and you're like, this guy's fucking nuts. I'm not watching this show. I'm not watching this guy. this guy's fucking nuts. I've always heard that Joe Cronin was weird, but this guy's fucking nuts. I'm getting out of here. This is stupid. Yeah, you hope your family dies. I hope your family dies. Leave if you want to leave. Go ahead. But I hope that on Monday morning next week, you get in your miserable little car to go to your piece of shit miserable job and your little kids get on the bus. And I hope that bus goes off a cliff. And I hope your wife sleeps with the mailman who has a venereal disease and he gives it to you. And then you've got one, your dick breaks and never works again. Okay? So don't let the door hit you in the ass on the way out. Now let's get back to the wrestling talk before I have another meltdown. Let's go to the donos.
Shit bum.
Triple H coming out with a new documentary exposing the company once again, lol.
That's it, I'll do it again. Here we go. I swear. I'm just kidding. Thank you, DB. By the way, DB means dick broken, just so anybody doesn't know that. You're welcome.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years. Never in all that time have I ever felt, until last Sunday, that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
Heyman got a prime Goldberg, Joe.
Yeah, he got a Goldberg in his prime. That's true. And, you know, Heyman loves Goldberg because of the last name, you know. Might as well call him Mr. Menorah. Ross the Boss 86, thank you so much for the dono, man. $3. Tony Khan, you feared for your life, huh, Tony Khan? You going to be all right, Tony? Somebody bumped into your little table. You feared for your life. Bro, you're going to fear for your life when Sasha Banks exposes your naked photos at some point down the road. That's when you're going to fear for your life. Tony Khan, okay?
Hey, Bullfrog is a moron.
Scissor me, Joe!
What's up, Pacharo? How you doing?
Joe, what the hell was the point of taking the titles off Liv and Raquel just for them to get it back the next night? They should have done this heel turn with Becky yesterday night. Why give Becky the title for one day?
You know, I don't know. I don't know, but what I do know is this. You get 2 moments out of it now. That's why. That's the only reason I can think. You get the fun of Becky Lynch comes back as a face. Everybody gets to chant for her. Then they win the belts, and that's really cool, and everybody celebrates. And then the next night, you know what I mean? You get to flip her heel, and then you get to put the belts back on somebody who got screwed out of WrestleMania after all the work they did all year, and now they just get the belts back again. I mean, the real argument is that Liv should have been involved in all this stuff and that they were screwed over. This was just their payback for stepping aside so that Becky Lynch could do this whole thing. I mean, really, that's what it is. It's their payback. Like, here you guys go. You know, you got kind of screwed, but now you're back at it. You know, but they got screwed out of WrestleMania, but now you're back at it. So I think it sort of solved all those problems for them. So I really, while I agree that it is kind of maniacal or fucking like ridiculous, not maniacal, but you know, that's the wrong word, but whatever. It's just kind of like clustered. But I appreciate what they, you know, that I think it works out. It's more, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it was a lot more fun. You know, it was a lot more fun. That's how I take it. My opinion. Haystacks Monet just became a member. What's up, Haystacks Monet? We're going to go to Luke Rojas and DJ Glaze in just a couple of minutes. They're on Discord waiting. I'm coming over, boys. I know you've been waiting patiently for a bit here. Obviously, it's a different night, and I've now had a meltdown. But it's what happens. But yeah, this is the 3rd time CM Punk has come out angry. Jay Swiss has become a member again. Yo, Jay Swiss, thank you, brother, for doing that. That's, I don't know what that is for you in months, but much appreciated, Jay Swiss. Thank you, dude. We get some other donos coming in. We're going to get to those. And like I said, I'm going to let the donos play for a few seconds here, and we'll get them out of the way. And then we'll move on to even more.
Shit bum.
Everyone on X saying they're bringing back the Paulie Dangerously WCW Dangerous Alliance, which had Stone Cold in it.
Yeah, it could be. I don't know if they're going to call it that or that's like an official thing, but the idea could be there. I mean, maybe. I could see it. I mean, it feels like he is forming some kind of stable, it feels like. It to me, it doesn't feel like it's just going to be Braun Breaker and Seth and Paul Heyman. You know, it feels like 2 other guys are coming, or 1, 2, or 3 other guys are coming. I mean, it really does feel like that. So, I mean, whether that's a direct reference to that or just logical what they're doing, I don't know.
Don't mind
But
if
here's
I do.
here's Broken Lion.
Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my
Chocolate blend.
Why they changed Rusev music? He could have came back with his old music. Maybe a few weeks later they could have debuted his new music. And who was the creep on Saturday talking about a 10-year plan? TF.
Yeah, I don't understand. Broken Lion, thank you for the $10, Broken Lion. I don't understand the Rusev music change. That was a downer. There was so much stuff that was good tonight, but one of the things that was stupid was Rusev's music. I don't even care if they changed his music. That's fine. Go ahead and, if you want to change Rusev's music or whatever, okay, that's fine. But, make it good. It's got to be better or as good as the other music, and that was stupid. So that's a problem right there. Monday Night Raw overall, I liked Monday Night Raw, right? I think it was good. But I'm going to put a poll up. WWE Raw after Mania was. Here we go, guys. Here's the poll y'all been waiting for. I should have put it up when there was more people here earlier, but I wasn't there. So at this point, I've basically made it through, I think, about half the show.
Shit bum.
But we'll get
I
there.
know this may come as a shock. Triple H is a promoter now. All promoters are liars.
Well, that's true. Gold Standard, thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bomb. I don't care, but there's no need to lie. There's really no need for Triple H to say, oh, man, it's just whatever. And by the way, I think we're taking he might have just meant things were obviously better then, but the business has been changing for years, and this is just the way it is. In a perfect world, could you make everyone believe? Yeah, but we can't. So, we have shows that break that fourth wall, and we talk about it, and it's a different world now. And I think that's what he meant. He just didn't say it like that, and it sounds very contradictory to what he says. And Io Sky versus Valkyrie, that was pretty good. We're at an hour and 40 minutes in. I love Rhea Ripley showing up. That was fun. Then I love Jey Uso's package and intro. I thought that was really good, and I loved it. Made me care about him, even though I haven't cared that much, but it made me care a little bit about him. I loved Gunther coming out and beating up the announce team in that crazy announce situation with Pat McAfee. All his buddies jumped the guardrails. He's choking. It's crazy. And then at that point, you think it's just going to be Penta and Dominic Mysterio. They have a nice little match. Grande got a beautiful little package. The show's not over. Seth comes out, and then Punk comes down for the millionth time because he's angry he lost and tries to, beat up Seth Rollins, and he gets beat up. Roman comes out, then Breaker, and it ends wonderfully. And so you had these 1 or 2 or 3 big hitting moments on Raw that were like boom, boom, boom. And Raw went from potentially a 5 or 6 out of 10 to about maybe a 7 or an 8 for some people. I'm going to give Raw a 7. But those are my overall thoughts. I've gone from the beginning to the end, and also we've gone around and up and down and all over the place. But now I will let more of the donations speak. But before we go back to the donations and you guys speak, we're going to go to the Discord where DJ Glaze and Luke Rojas are located. I want to go to Luke first because Luke was in here earlier first, and because Luke, let's be honest, has a bigger cock that he can't use. Hello. Oh, well, look at that. He's not there, DJ. Look, maybe he has no penis. DJ, you're sorry, bro, but you're up now because he's not here.
No, you can't. Fuck, there he is. Sorry.
Oh,
I forgot my headphones were on.
Oh, now I can hear you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot that I had my fucking headphones on and probably couldn't hear anything I was saying.
By the way, whoever donated,
oh,
the guy who donated $12, Limitless Keith Lee, you're supposed to write Limited Keith Lee, and you fucked up. You had one job, Limitless Keith Lee. I don't know why you did that, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh man, remember Keith Lee? That was really crazy.
Yeah. Remember when he thought Vince was a moron? How'd that work out for him?
You know what though? I think it's cool that we're gonna have this retroactive like thinking that like Vince was always a genius, never anything would happen with him. But that was one of the few times where it was like it wasn't the fact that Vince was stupid. It was the fact that he was just an asshole. He was just a dumb idiot who's like, I don't get angry though. I need a reason to be angry.
Yeah, you know what Vince should have done when he said, "Well, Vince, I don't get it, the bear cat. I need a reason to be angry." You know what Vince should have said? "Oh, I'll give you a reason to be angry. You're fucking fired. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here, and you're fat." Imagine that if Vince said that, and then said, "Now, cut the promo I want you to cut on camera, and if it's good, you're not fired." That's what I would have said if I was Vince. Anyway, Keith Lee's an idiot. Go ahead.
Triple H keeps fucking up, man.
Okay, why is he fucking up? Go ahead, DJ. You're gonna talk at least. Go ahead.
Yeah, you get the stage first over the monetization.
Because we're not supposed to talk about kayfabe, and now he puts it on display with a new show.
No,
I'm like,
but that's the thing. It's not that we're not supposed to. We're supposed to all over the place. He's mad that he thinks like, oh, things were better when they didn't break kayfabe. It's too bad and all this stuff. But it's like you're involved in like 5 million different ways to break kayfabe. So it's like it's just a ridiculous thing to be upset about. But
no, he wasn't upset about it. He was deflecting. That's what it was. It's a classic deflection. Like, I'm getting criticism. It's better when these marks didn't know anything. Anyway, here's 7 shows where I'm telling you that wrestling is fake. And I've always had a problem with them fucking advertising like kayfabe breaking shows on the actual fucking like wrestling shows. Leave that shit off of television because it's like I'm supposed to get invested in this story. Like, oh my God, Pat McAfee, is he okay? And then the next commercial is, we're going to take you behind the scenes where I write the script of the story that you're fake watching. Or like, it's just fucking stupid, bro. Like, I don't want to see you in the fucking writer's room. Like, this is so dumb.
I mean, I do want to see it. I do want to see it. But
YouTube. On YouTube. I want to see that on YouTube or on a fucking, a documentary. I don't want to see that advertised or like in my face when I'm trying to get invested in these storylines because it's stupid and it makes me go like, oh wow, like not even trying to attempt to make it seem like there's any suspension of disbelief. Like, no, it's all fake. You're watching a stupid fake show, idiot. Kill yourself. You're dumb. Don't think. Watch. Just be stupid and watch. Have fun. Watch. But it was better when it was all fucking everybody didn't know it was fake. It's just like it's fucking stupid, bro. I don't know. WrestleMania was a dud. Tonight was probably the best Raw after Mania we've had in years. That's not saying much though, because we've really had some terrible ones. Cena, I didn't really like his promo, to be quite honest. It wasn't bad or anything. I just found it to kind of be like whatever. Like I kind of wanted him to stop talking after a while.
Oh, Cena? Well, I think they wanted to get you to that point, so Orton's thing was better. But what I mean, did you pop for the Orton thing? Like when he jumped up and you like?
I liked when Orton showed up. I thought that was cool. I don't think we're gonna get anything too great out of this, to be quite honest. I mean, I know everybody's gonna. A lot of this is going to be playing off of nostalgia. A lot of this is going to be playing off of nostalgia of Randy Orton and John Cena's feud, and that's going to pop people who really liked that. I didn't like that because they didn't have a good feud because they didn't really. I don't think they ever really had that many great matches.
It's because Randy Orton doesn't have that many good matches, and then John Cena doesn't exactly wrestle amazing either. So when you put,
I think Randy Orton has a lot of great matches, and John Cena has a lot of great matches. they just didn't have that many great matches with each other. There's a handful of matches that I would go back and rewatch with them. But like a lot of their matches in 2007, 2008, 2009, I just never found them to be all that great. I don't know. I think Randy Orton had better feuds with like guys like Christian, guys like The Undertaker, Triple H, same with John Cena. He had better feuds with like, Edge, Shawn Michaels. But like, when you think of that era, it's always like, oh, John Cena, Randy Orton, they're like classic rivals. They were like that era's Stone Cold and The Rock or something. And it's just like I never thought that they meshed well. So like I don't think that this storyline is gonna work for me because I just don't have any like personal like love for these two like having a feud. I think if it was CM Punk and Cena, I think I might get more invested. I don't care anymore about Cena. I think they botched the whole heel turn. I think the fact that we still don't know what the fuck The Rock's involvement with him is. Like, so did John Cena turn heel and sell his soul just so he could have Travis Scott minorly help him? And like, by the way, what a terrible ending to a main event of WrestleMania. Like, no gravitas at all. You just completely fucking what's the word for it? Telegraph your ending. There's no surprise to it. Like when I saw Travis Scott come out and then John Cena was smiling and laughing, I texted Joe. I'm like, oh, there's going to be a double turn or something because it felt like it was.
Yeah,
way
we started
too
talking about that.
predictable.
I agree with you. I went, something's up here but the funny thing is, everything that happened is what we thought was going to happen, but we started talking ourselves into something completely different because that was too obvious.
Yeah, because it was
Yeah, I
so
thought the same
predictable.
thing.
Because not only that, you're like, okay, well, if that doesn't happen, at least someone else is coming out. Like, I thought what was going to happen was that Travis Scott was going to get on the apron, and like right before he was going to intervene, The Rock's music was going to play, and even Travis Scott was going to be surprised, and Cena was going to be surprised, and The Rock comes out. And I thought that The Rock was literally going to turn on Cena, and like Cody was going to align forces because of the fact that the fucking fans were booing the shit out of Cody. Now, obviously, that's like a little bit, fantasy booking there, and it was a little bit too crazy to think. But
Right.
I mean, the way that they telegraphed the whole ending of the match from like you see him coming out, he makes the slow ass entrance. It's just like it was so terribly paced and terribly plotted out to get that Cena cheats Cody out of the fucking title win. Like to me, it was just not interesting in any way that they did it. And it's stupid that John Cena's 17th title reign, technically 18th title reign too, because for some reason the Universal title still hasn't been fucking defunct for whatever reason. It's just weird to me. It's stupid that it's going to be always associated with this really bad match and a blah WrestleMania and Travis Scott being there. The fact that his heel turn was already kind of tarnished with Travis Scott being there was one thing, but now his most important accolade is also going to be tarnished. So I was not a fan of the main event. And I'm not a fan of this storyline anymore, and I don't give a fuck. So until they explain what the fuck's happening with The Rock and he shows up, this storyline is not exciting me in any way, and I don't care for Cena's promos anymore. I just find them to all be like whatever heel promos. I think he cut a better heel promo on Pat McAfee's show. He came off like much more of a self-righteous douchebag in that promo because he was being more real, and that's probably what Cena's like. I think Cena should be more realistic, like real, kind of like laid back with his promos and just start talking like, I'm better than you. Because like when he talks like that and that fake like Hollywood TED Talk type of voice or whatever, and then he also sort of kind of went into his like Boston slang, even though he shouldn't have that because he lived in a fucking nice neighborhood, not on the streets like he pretends to. I think that would have been better for his promos, but instead it's just all his promos are like, I'm basically cutting a yelling John Cena promo that I always cut, but now I'm saying like mean things. I don't know. I'm not. I might just be too cynical. That might just be a nitpick, but that's how I feel.
I think it's all. I mean, I'm okay with it. It's a little weird. It's different than what you would think you're gonna get. I think maybe, and it is to me too. But I think it's been all right. Like Cena's heel turn is like for me has been like a 7.5 out of 10, which just him turning heel is really fun, right? Just it doesn't matter if he had done it badly, like really badly, it still would have been fun. And I don't think he's doing it badly. I think they're doing okay. I think they're doing okay with it. And I think later on you might like it more.
I wish Randy would have punted John Cena in the face.
Yeah, I mean that. I don't think they needed to do that though.
Yeah, they're not gonna. Maybe that's what they're gonna build up to, because like Randy's gonna cut a weird, awkward promo where he's like, "The voices are telling me. The voices are telling me that I need to hit the punt. I gotta hit the punt." That's how fucking Randy's promos are. They're all weird and awkwardly delivered. It's like he never quite like gets on a roll. Like he's always so close to like, okay, you've got the passion, but the delivery sucks, or like you got the delivery, but the passion sucks. It just always comes off awkward.
Randy's
and,
always
like,
come off to me.
Now he gets all like red and like scary looking when he cuts these promos. Like he looks like he's gonna die.
Randy always comes off to me like he needs a script, or like, well, give me the script. Like I mean, like most people, I don't feel that way. I think. And I could be wrong. Maybe it's the opposite even, but I've always thought Randy is the guy that's like, what am I going to say? Like, what am I saying? Like, you tell me. I don't want to really think about it. You tell me what I'm going to say. Like that's.
I wish Randy would go back. Go ahead, Joe.
Him and Lesnar. I'm gonna ignore what you said. Him and Lesnar are kind of similar in that way, where it's like just whatever. Yeah, give me whatever. I don't give a shit. Yeah, whatever. But like Randy, I think Lesnar, honestly, when like he got that run as the baby face in like 2021, 2022, he had more like charisma and like actual like promo skills than Randy does. Like Randy, I think his strong suit is like his facial expressions, like especially like in 2008, 2009. And just he was always booked really evil. Like he didn't have to cut promos because he would go RKO like an old lady, or like push someone down the stairs and like pee on them, or like poop in somebody's bag, and that one actually happened. So he was just like a bastard, and that's how he got over as like the ultimate heel. Meanwhile, like guys like Edge and Chris Jericho, they got more over as a heel at that time for their actual like promo skills. So it's interesting to see how Randy, like, even though his promo skills really aren't the best, and I wouldn't say he's the most charismatic guy, he has like resonated really well and been able to operate as like a top heel and top face for like a lot of years. So, even though I'm not like super crazy into him right now, I recognize that people probably are really excited to see this feud with him and Cena and love him. So yeah,
the reason why, you're younger, so this is weird because it's like your prime. These should be your prime guys, and these are guys that annoyed me. These are guys that made me like be like like back in whatever year it was, 2006, 5, 7, whatever year, 5, 6, 7, whatever those years are. These are guys where like if Randy Orton versus Cena on Raw, the main event or whatever, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go to sleep. I don't care. I wasn't
because
that into
remember
it.
wrestling being really. Here's the thing: when I was a kid, I liked wrestling a lot, but and I enjoyed watching these shows. But I think at some point when I was a teenager, I watched these shows back, and I did not like them, and they were very boring and terrible. And there was just so many bad moments. And it's just like over time, I just became annoyed with it. And so like I still do pop for wrestlers back then, and I do still really like Randy Orton just because of all the nostalgia I have for him. Especially I liked him in 2011 too. I thought that was his best year when he was fighting Christian for the world title. That it was like the best year he ever like in terms of his in-ring shape and his wrestling skills.
I liked his stuff with Shawn Michaels, and when Jericho came back with the torch, I really liked that time.
Yeah, that was a great year for him too, 2007. I know he hates that fucking song, but Burning My Light, I just love that fucking song. You know what's stupid is that he hates Burning My Light, which is what's it called? Mercy Drive or whatever that band is.
Mhm.
And that same band made Maven's song, and Maven also hates his theme song. So
Wow.
I don't understand. Like, they're two awesome fucking theme songs, and both the wrestlers that have them hate them.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah, and they're pretty good. People like them, even though they're a little like, they're a little cheesy-ish, and maybe that's why.
Randy has just basically said his was like gay. He's like,
That's yeah.
that's fucking gay.
That's what it is.
Fucking gay as shit. But his new song, I think, sucks. Or not sucks, but compared to the old one, like, you know, I guess it's not his new song. He's had it for like 15 years now, but fucking, it's like weird. It's like a rap rock song. It just, to me, that's like sounds less cool than just like, you know, new metal. I don't know. Randy's got weird taste.
What'd you think about everything else?
If
I wish Randy would go back
you know,
to
I bet he
heel.
wants like a rap version where they're like saying the N-word and shit.
Oh my god.
Shit bomb.
Not again.
Triple H also said on Tough Enough, "Your nuts are hanging out of your shorts. You might want to fix that first."
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Beautiful Tomorrow TV. Your nuts are hanging out of your shorts. I still don't know if that really was happening or if he just wanted to say that. You know.
Yeah, that, you know what?
I can see your
though?
tea
That
bag.
really-
Doesn't he say that? I can see your tea bag.
That was a badass episode of Tough Enough, but I have to say that was like Triple H. You know that he just came off like such a douche in that because, like, you know, he's like, man, I'm so fucking cool, man.
Yeah,
I'm
but
scared the fucking. That's why I don't like those shows because all of them are like guys who had to go for those same things that they probably hated going through when they were younger. Now they're just gonna do it to all the younger talent and be like, yeah. You suck.
We got hazed. Now you get hazed. But the thing to me, what's worse is now as everybody's over 50, now it's the other way where they're so they feel so bad about that, right? That now they don't do any of that anywhere, and these people are babied and they raise weak people. That's what happens.
No, but it's not. It's like a hypocrisy because that LFG, TFG, whatever the fuck the show is called. They do the same thing. They're like Bubba Ray comes out and is like, you haven't earned the right to shake my hand, and they haze all these wrestlers, but then they tell us about the positivity and the morality or like the morale around the backstage and how everybody loves each other. So it's like they don't know what to fucking do. I don't know. I bet there still is like weird hazing back, But now they're gonna pretend that everybody like gets along. It's just weird. I don't get it.
It's just finding out. It's just finding out if people are tough enough. That's what it is. We're beating you down. It doesn't make any sense. It's not supposed to. It's a mental game. Can you?
You got fucking guys like Gunther coming out being like, if you don't want to be a star, we're like, Gunther, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You just tapped out in 5 seconds to your own submission hold. Meanwhile, fucking Pat McAfee and Michael Cole last longer than you and don't tap out. What the fuck is that?
Well, Pat McAfee passed out, so.
Yeah, but he didn't tap, did he?
No, he's stupid. He passed out.
Yeah, exactly. So Gunther
tap.
taps out in fucking 2 seconds, and Pat McAfee gets choked out and doesn't tap out until he passes out. So automatically that makes Pat McAfee more tough than the guy who was the world champion for 7-8 months.
I like when all of McAfee's buddies jumped the guardrail.
I thought that was
that
cool.
too.
I thought a fan jumped in the first guy because he looks like a slob fan. So I was like, oh my God, there's a fan out there too. And then I finally, when I saw the other guy, I recognized everybody else, and I was like, oh, okay.
I thought that was a cool segment too. Michael Cole to me doesn't make sense. The fact that he's a babyface commentator and all he does is like instigate fights and like talk shit to people and like bully them.
Well, no, Michael Cole should have gotten back on commentary and said how great Gunther was because that's all Michael Cole does is praise everything bad everybody does. Everybody that's bad.
Like what I didn't get though is like if you're the babyface, right, and the heel is mad at you, don't you think you would want to cool down the situation instead of being like, at least I didn't tap out? Like, to me, that just doesn't fit the role of the babyface. Like, I just don't think that would be something. I don't know. Maybe that's a nitpick there, but maybe it's just because I'm so pissed off at Michael Cole for, once again, at the end of a WrestleMania where a babyface gets screwed, praising the heel. Meanwhile, the night before, he's fucking cursing out Paul Heyman and saying he's a scumbag for essentially doing the same fucking thing.
Right.
What the fucking shit?
Yeah, it
doesn't make any sense. Like, Michael Cole, you are not the GOAT. I hope people know this. If you're calling Michael Cole the GOAT, I really don't know what you're talking about. Michael Cole, I think, used to be great. Now he is like just I can't stand him. And Joe Tessitore is even worse. I don't like any comments.
Yeah, Tessitore has the soul of a dead dolphin.
Yeah, he's got a robotic face. You can't tell
I
if he's
can't believe
hot or not.
what happened here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen,
dolphin was raped.
He's gone.
A dolphin was raped right in front of my eyes.
Michael Cole was taken to the back where he was obviously assaulted in a fortunate situation, but I will be here to cover everything for you. I'm sure you're going to fall asleep to Joe Tessitore, but be that as it may, tonight on Raw, I will be here with you. Also, my pants are unzipped. Okay. Thanks,
also,
Joe.
I'm not allowed near schools.
Yeah. Sorry. If you hear tomorrow that I made several little kids leave ringside, I want you to know it wasn't my fault. It was the state of Florida's fault. And anyway, it's a different thing.
Dude, I was watching someone make a parody. Oh my God. I don't know. I forget what the channel's called. It's like BC Amplify or some shit like that. BC something.
Yeah.
It's like some white guy.
It's just it's a guy who wants to make love to JD from NY. Go ahead, continue.
Probably. I don't know.
It's not probably. It's true.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Scumbag.
Whatever. I don't give a fuck. He made a funny skit. He made a spot-on fucking skit of the Triple H press conferences. Like, I have to I don't know. Maybe you don't want to show this guy because now I didn't know he was like a JD, like cocksucker or whatever the fuck. But it was making me fucking laugh so hard. He got it. All the mannerisms like so perfectly, the cadence so perfectly, just the awkward like silences of the promo, or not the promo, of the press conferences. Like, he really fucking nailed this. So, I don't know the rest about him. I'm not like the biggest fan of a lot of his content, but that shit was hilarious. So, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
I'm sorry. I didn't know he was a JD, whatever the fuck. I don't keep up with what. Who
those New York, those midgets in New York, bro. You know what they're like.
Jackass from New York.
Yeah, if someone's from New York, tip 90% chance, piece of shit.
I've been going to wrestling shows for over 30 years.
That means you,
Never
John, in the chat.
In all that time,
Randy
have I
Viper,
ever
hello.
felt until last Sunday that my security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
I hope Braun Breaker wins the Money in the Bank and they put a rocket up his ass. Cena will beat Orton, overrated Rhodes will beat Cena at SummerSlam and then Orton will turn on Rhodes then. Rollins gotta bring back original song.
Rollins gotta bring back an original song.
His original song.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of just mentioned that. He hates that song. He's not doing it. Yeah, I mean, Luke just told you he hates that song, so.
Yeah.
That's the best song there is.
Not gonna have
Shit,
Hey, shut the fuck up, loser.
Triple H donated $5. Oh, man.
Triple H?
Imagine Triple H seeing that rant that I did about him earlier and just being like, yep, we made the right call not hiring this guy.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking maniac.
Stupid for not hiring you, honestly. You're a lot better
No,
than
he's
the other
like-
announcers.
He's like, Brian, never fucking recommend talent again. You know
my
what?
God.
You can set up the ring.
You'll set up the damn ring, and your children will
Bum.
set up the ring forever.
I know kayfabe is dead, but come on and at least pretend it's not and get rid of the post shows and them being out of character. It sucks.
Yeah, it's really a downer. It's really getting out of control.
There's no way to fucking fix it at this point. I mean, like, you just whatever. Who cares? You know what? Yeah, like I'm really. I don't want to leave. I don't want to stop watching. You know, I'm a big fan of this shit, but like I'm close to it because this is stupid. Why watch?
I guess Justin Bieber.
I really.
Justin Bieber just hit reporters with his truck. Have you seen this?
What the fuck?
Or, you know, not reporters, but what do you call them? Paparazzi? Paparazzi.
Lady Gaga. Yep.
Hey, Bullfrog is a moron.
Scissor me, Joe!
DJ Glaze, my sweetheart, I wanna smell your fart, I wanna penetrate you like a dart, what an art, I'll add you to my cart for me to tape you and gape you, I wanna munch on your dingleberry like strawberry for lunch and punch your grundle and hear a crunch, meow.
Henry loves DJ Glaze. How about that? You have a fan, DJ Glaze.
Well, you know, I guess it's what it is. I mean, can't change it.
He wants
Got
to
a
bang
fan
you.
now.
He wants to bang you. Look at this. I know we've been talking a lot about wrestling and Raw, and this really doesn't have anything to do with it. But I don't know if this is this new or like whatever. But look at this.
Oh my god! Oh my.
That's what happens when you stand too close to the truck, motherfucker. How about that? How about that, motherfucker? How'd that taste, motherfucker?
2007 Tubby McGuire, man.
Play that again. I didn't see it.
Stone Cold Steve Austin's on his way down.
Oh God.
Stone Cold's gotten in.
What the fuck?
Now he's driving a truck.
Rory nearly killed a lady last night.
Oh my god, wait! Justin! Justin, stop! Here, get. That was right. You guys are in front of me, alright, buddy?
755.
This is the biggest sell job ever, and Justin Bieber is not an EMT. So.
755.
You know, it's really hard to. You know what I mean?
Really quick. Come on, give him some space. You're too far really fast. Everybody, give him some space.
Worried about this guy. We're not giving him space.
All right, give him some space. Give him some space.
We're giving.
All right, we need some space. An ambulance.
Why is the closest person to the guy that hit him? Like, I mean, where's someone that knows what to do? There you go. I mean, what do these fuckers think's gonna happen when you're standing right next to a giant truck? He can't see you under the mirror there.
And that was on the road.
And it's and of course it's the black guy. You know, like you can't see. Like he's in all black and black. All these white guys. He saw the white guys.
I have no sympathy whatsoever for paparazzi. You're gonna put your life on the line to bother people. You deserve to get in trouble, or you deserve to get hurt. You know, basically, like whatever you're putting yourself into, like that situation, you would have avoided if you just weren't being an annoying fuck. So you deserve it.
He did have red shoes on though, so you should have really seen those red shoes. I
Hey,
feel like.
Bullfrog is a moron.
Well, here comes Triple H again. Here we go.
Keep my name out of your mouth, you bastards.
You know what?
A virgin, a tard, and a dud of a human talking shit about me, the game.
You know what?
I got two words for you. Die bitches.
I grew up in New Hampshire as well, Triple H. All right? I grew up in fucking New Hampshire. I don't remember seeing you. Okay? I don't remember seeing you. But glad you came to New Hampshire, though. I was in Salem, bitch. Oh, shit. Yes! Once again, the biggest donator of the night is Z Payne.
was 6 out of 10. I would have taken Aleister Black over Rusev in a different spot. I'm annoyed the belts dropped so quickly after Mania. Can the Judgment say just die already, please?
Yeah, and it looks like the Judgment Day isn't going anywhere and that Balor's going to leave maybe, but the rest of them all seem tight, so I guess Balor might be out. Maybe not.
Like, I'm happy
Z-Pain, thank you for
JD's
the $3.
back, though.
Yeah.
You know what? They'll probably, knowing how stupid the way they book faces and heels in this company now, they'll probably try to turn Balor
Did
face.
you see Killer Cross's promo
That is what they're
he did
doing.
on Triple H?
Did you see Killer? Yes, I did. I put out a video on it, actually. I put a video out on it. I put a short out on it. The Villain, thank you so much for the $2, man. Super chat. Yeah, no, I put a video out on
No, Joe,
it.
I know that's what they're doing. I know that's what they're doing, but it doesn't make sense.
Oh.
Balor, this whole time, has been a clearly horrible, selfish friend. Like, he doesn't have any respect for any of them. He's manipulating all of them for his own personal gain. Why would I want to see him turn face?
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. This is just as stupid as when we're supposed to feel bad. And, you know, people did, and people cheered for Rhea and Damian. Why were they the good guys in the fucking Judgment Day breakup? They were all bad people. Liv attacked Rhea because she injured her for a year. And then not only that, but the whole time the Judgment Day are being bullied by Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, who are bossing them around like they're lackeys and calling them stupid and not helping them in their matches at all, but they get help all the time. So of course they would get betrayed. This is why I don't like the way heels and faces are booked, because why do the heels make so much more sense than all the faces? Oh, it's because a longtime career heel is booking all of them, and he doesn't know how to book faces properly. So you have people who should be heels who are the ones who are the fucking baby faces and are over. Maybe that has something more to do with the fucking crowd and the audience, but I think it also has a lot to do with just the way that these shows are written. I don't know. That's just me. So that's why I'm like, it doesn't make any sense for Finn Balor to be the one to turn face. He's a fucking asshole in the story.
Yeah, no,
Like,
you're right. It doesn't make sense. You're right. I didn't think about that. Yeah, I mean, I did. I thought you were talking about, is he going to be the one that turns heel? Yeah, he's definitely going to be the one that turns face, rather, like you said. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. But I'm not saying that because I'm not opposed to the fact that they might be turning the Judgment Day. They might be turning the Judgment Day face, because it seems like they're ready to push Dom in some different way, and Dom's getting cheered. So I think they're going the other way with it. But for the people that have been I think Balor will probably be heel, but we'll see what happens. Here's the clip of Karrion Kross. I did put this out earlier. That was just mentioned really quickly.
Looking just for good ideas. That's for those guys over there. That's what being a good soldier is, okay? Being a good soldier is coming to your hometown where you cut your teeth, we got started, and not being on the card. It's all about viral moments now. That's what it's all about. Viral moments. Well, Guy, everybody's been telling me that I got to become undeniable. And as soon as it happens, they ignore it and they shut it down. I never asked to wrestle Randy. I never asked. That happened organically, and you ignored it for a viral moment. And good on Joe. Nothing against him. But you ignored it. And the crowd told you exactly how they felt about me on SmackDown when I was eliminated. Let's talk about what Logan Paul represents. The shortcut. Feels so good to be here. Feels so good to be in the business. Thinking about all of the funerals that I wasn't able to attend for the last 11 years in this business. All of the holidays I missed. You know, I could have just started a YouTube channel. Could have just jumped in there with AJ Styles. Feels really good. Looking just for good ideas.
Really cutting a promo on how, I should have just been a YouTuber and then I could have became a star, I guess. And yeah, it was pretty good promo earlier that he started out with on some podcast. I didn't see what it was. But yeah, pretty good shit. Funny stuff. Too bad they won't let him talk like that on TV.
I think it was Sam, not Sam.
Well, I gotta take a piss. You can talk about it.
Yeah, well, you know what?
Rusev's big, though.
I've never really cared too much for Karrion Kross. I like his character now, though. And I like the promos that he's been cutting on social media, and even the things we've seen with him in vignettes, or backstage promos. I just don't really like his wrestling all that much. I just was never a fan of him in NXT. I thought when he won the title, I thought that was when the championship started to actually and the show started to like go down in quality. But I don't think that has a lot to do with him, and I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that the creative was being taken over into a completely different direction at that point, and that was kind of the end of the black and gold era. But I never really liked his matches all that much, and I'm really annoyed that his storyline had anything to do with the Logan Paul and AJ Styles match that should have been fucking great. That match really disappointed me. They fucking set this match up like it's going to be a fucking 5-star WrestleMania classic with this promo package that they played, and I should have fucking figured with after the weeks and weeks of terrible build for this fucking match that the promo package would be a lie. But I thought, who cares about the build? These two are going to have an excellent match. This is a WrestleMania type fucking feel for this match. I can't wait to see it. I'm so excited. And man, did it not deliver at all. It was an all right at best match that never really got going. Never really had, never really picked up that momentum of a true like good match. It just felt like it was them doing moves, and then eventually Karrion got out there to cause a distraction, and we had yet another iffy fucking finish in a WrestleMania weekend full of iffy, fucking finishes and oh yeah, someone's gonna come out and screw you here, or say this person's gonna help this person. It's just like it got so tiresome with the amount of interference endings that we had at WrestleMania.
Triple H, man, he loves having people interfere in the match or getting a count out or something like that. He doesn't like to finish it through, especially on the shows, the regular shows like Raw and SmackDown. There's always a disqualification or something. It's never somebody getting a pin for the win.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's really annoying. Repetitive.
Yeah. And I don't think Vince ever did that much, did he?
I mean, he probably did, but just not as much as Triple H. And it feels like it's like every fucking match now has to have some sort of interference. I don't know. But
in matches, when he was fighting Orton for the title, it would always get interrupted by somebody. Back in 2013 through 14. That shit was annoying.
Yeah.
Every
after
match.
a while it played out. That's why people started to sour on the whole bloodline thing with Roman's title reign, which people now pretend didn't happen. Have very selective and memory of that because everybody pretends it was great all the time. But it got very tiresome after a year and a half, basically, of Roman's title reign, of every match ending the same and having the same interferences. Well, it's not just Roman's matches anymore. It's a lot of people's matches. So I don't know why you couldn't. If you wanted to have Logan Paul just go over, just have him win a good fucking match with AJ. Maybe save that. And if you wanted to do the interference, whatever, save that Karrion Kross stuff for 10 minutes. After the point it happened. I think these two should have had a good, solid 24, 25-minute match, had a lot of, had false finishes, had back and forth moments. And I just don't think they were really, either they weren't given the time for that, or maybe these two just don't mesh well. I don't know. But again, the streak of AJ Styles having disappointing WrestleMania matches continues. So yeah, and it's just weird that he lost. It's weird that he lost on his return match after being injured for so long. I just thought that was weird. I mean, I know it's not his return match, but his first Mania back since an injury. I just thought that was weird.
Did AJ Styles lose last year to LA Knight, or was that wrong? Or did he win?
He lost. He lost to LA Knight. He lost to LA Knight. But then he won a rematch against LA Knight for number one contender spot.
For
And
Cody,
then,
yeah.
and then they
Which
never
for
had a
Miller.
rubber match. They never had a rubber match and ended their feud. So AJ Styles and LA Knight are just 1-1 right now.
Triple H be
Yeah, they're
fumbling
the
all these
same.
guys, man. Like, how do you fumble the guys that are really over, like LA Knight or Karrion Cross? Like, you fumble these guys and you stick them in the back and shit. Like I get it, you made him champion, LA Knight, but like Karrion Cross gets nothing. I like Karrion Cross.
How much you like him? You want his cock?
Oh, hey, Joe. Somebody posted footage of the roast. They posted footage, and Nia Jax's favorite position is standing up.
Oh my god! I
That
wish
roast
Randy
was
would go back.
amazing,
I wish
man.
Randy would go back to being a heel. I wish he would go back to being a heel. Randy, I miss him being a heel because those 2009 from whatever 11 or 14, that was amazing. And
Everybody should just be a heel at this point. 'Cause
well, you need
way
cases.
that's the only way you can guarantee getting cheered now is if you're just a heel. It's case closed. Like
Some
if,
fucked up shit, you get cheered.
yeah, that's what these fans want. It doesn't make any sense for a lot of these people to be cheered because a lot of them act like selfish people, but the fans love it. The fans now love John Cena because he's a heel and hate Cody Rhodes, but then they cheer for Cody when he cuts that crazy promo, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm starting to get annoyed at the fans just because of how fickle they are, and
Cena
I
was
don't
right.
know.
It's a toxic relationship. Like, they cheer and then boo people who are right, and it's like, oh my god, can we?
Yeah, but these are the fans. These are the fans that the WWE wants and caters to. Is the
Yep.
dumb, stupid fans. But they're talking shit to those fans, and they lump anybody who has a brain who criticizes this shit into not real fans. So the stupid people that they make fun of and call out with these John Cena promos are the real fans, but the people who actually use their fucking brains aren't. Like, the hypocrisy in the WWE is astounding.
Yeah, I when Cena said basically about Cody, he said you cheered him for a minute, then you booed him when I talked about him. He's like, that's how stupid you guys are, and they don't even know it that they're stupid.
Well, they do. What I wonder is these boos going to carry on for Cody the next time you see him? And if that's the case, if he keeps getting booed, are they going to consider turning him? Because I don't want to see another 3 years, whatever the fuck of a baby face getting booed, but the WWE pushes them as the baby face. And since they even acknowledged him getting booed in the first place, which is something they wouldn't have done for Roman Reigns, which is the truth. Even John Cena, they wouldn't acknowledge it, or they would have said, we're in Bizarro World or some shit. They just openly acknowledged that he got booed. I'm wondering if the WWE is going to be like, hey, it's not a good look for the biggest baby face to get booed, so we're going to have to turn him or something. I don't know. I was opposed to a Cody heel turn just because I really did like him as a face, and I still do, even if his title reign was booked not very good because he just didn't have many heels to work with because Triple H put him on SmackDown where there was no heels for him to compete with. Sorry, I got a hiccup.
That shit was. Why was he on SmackDown that whole time? Like, they should have swapped titles. Put his ass on Raw, where all the good people are. Like, the good heels, I mean.
The World Heavyweight title shouldn't even exist. That's why. If it didn't exist, then he would have been on Raw and
Created a
SmackDown.
whole new title that
would have been
wasn't
competing with
anything.
so many people. No,
like,
like
not
the
a universal.
World Heavyweight
but,
title should be the Intercontinental title, and the SmackDown and Raw should just be where Cody defends the undisputed title if they're going to call it undisputed. But it's not undisputed anymore. because there's a world heavyweight title. So why don't you just call it the WWE title? Oh wait, you can't, because for whatever reason you don't want to end the Universal Championship lineage. So now John Cena is an 18-time champion instead of a 17-time world champion, which the WWE website actually backs this up. But for whatever reason, we're just going to say he's a 17-time world champion. It just end the lineage of the Universal title. I'm going to call this out every week until they do, because it's stupid. Just fucking end the lineage of the belt. Why is John Cena now technically an 18-time world champion, but he only won 17 titles?
Well, I mean,
it makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Because how do they count the Universal title as one of the titles that he won where it counts as 18? That's
because
dumb.
they never split it up. Yeah, they never split it up because Roman.
They never ended it. They never ended the title reign because they didn't want to end Roman's, fucking
title reign.
Big title reign at that point. So the only way they can keep it is if they just continued the lineage. It should have ended as soon as Cody won it, but they want to keep this undisputed thing for whatever reason. I don't know why they're continuing the lineage of the Universal title, but what pisses me off the most is when you go on WWE.com, the first title that pops up for the championships isn't the WWE Championship, which is the most prestigious prize in WWE. No, it's the Universal title, and they use the blue version of the Universal title, which hasn't been seen on TV in nearly 2 fucking years. Actually, over 2 years at this point. So what the fuck?
Well, not 2 years, but it was advertised on ESPN, the red belt and the blue belt. But yeah, it makes no sense why it's still being advertised or shown.
Remember that brief time when Roman was coming out with all 3 of the belts? Like Paul Heyman was carrying the 2 belts, and then Roman had the gold belt with him. They should have stuck with that. I thought that looked cool as fuck.
If I can be honest here, I don't like the design of the gold belt. I don't. I think it's fucking stupid. Like it's gold and white, and then it's gold and black. Like I don't care for that. Can we go back to normal colors? Like it doesn't need to be gold.
Yeah, I don't. Well, it's like mustard. That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's not as bad as the Universal title.
No, well, you know what? I actually didn't mind the blue strap version of the Universal title. There's some good shots of it, but the red one. Really bad. Yeah, the red one.
Yeah, the fucking licorice. What did Joe call it years ago? The fucking licorice title or whatever.
Yeah, fucking period blood title.
The fucking fruit roll up title. God,
it was so
never
funny.
Bring that belt back.
It's so funny. I forgot that the fucking Fiend actually held that belt, and then they had him for no reason at all job to fucking Goldberg.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he win it back? Didn't he? Didn't he win it back from Goldberg? I thought he did.
No, he never did.
So So Roman was supposed to win it from Goldberg, and Roman was actually originally supposed to start his title reign in April of 2020, but then he something happened. I forget what. I think he got COVID or something. Yeah. He got really sick with it. So instead, Braun took that spot, and Braun became champion and had a whatever reign. And then him and Bray feuded for months and months, and then their blow off match was at SummerSlam. And they had this kind of all right match, and that's when Roman showed up. And then a week later, after Bray won the title, a week later, Roman beats them in that fucking match or whatever and becomes champion. And what's really weird is that years later, what's his name? Bray Wyatt, he dies the same week that he lost the title. If you look at it, so it's very strange. I think only a day after or before he lost the Universal Championship in 2020. In 2023, he dies that same day or week.
That's
very,
freaky.
very. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that
You
is
guys,
very
you guys
creepy.
see Brody Lee's kid is wrestling? Like his kid is wrestling on fucking indie shows and shit. I saw that shit on Twitter. I'm like, what the fuck?
Thought
He's
his
taking
kid
down
was, like,
grown ass
5.
adults. Yeah, I thought so too, but he's beating the shit out of grown ass adults and fucking submitting them and shit. Like what? Oh, I wouldn't
all
do
those
that.
wrestlers, all those wrestlers are gonna like put over Brody's kid.
Yeah.
We're gonna put over Brody's kid, man. I don't know why they
I
all
thought it was
sound like
cool for
Chavo.
5 minutes, but like, stop jobbing to the kid. Like, I get his father is famous, but like, no, powerbomb that kid, bro. Send those people home with something cool. Powerbomb the kid. That's how you get people talking.
Yeah.
Fucking dig up his dad's corpse.
Tonight's show. I mean, tonight's show. I give it a 7.5 because I couldn't say it was an 8 and I couldn't say it was a 7. I give it a
8 because
7.5.
of Stephanie. Stephanie showed up, bro. That's why it's an 8. Stephanie showed up. Now, is Julia and Roxanne on Raw? Like, are they actually transferred to the main roster? No. Okay.
No, that was a big
I thought they were.
advertisement for NXT. That was a big advertisement for NXT, but the crowd
Oh, an
popped.
advertisement.
Yeah, the crowd popped, so they clearly knew what
That
was
ruined
going
it.
on. I didn't know because I don't watch NXT, so the only person I knew who, like the name of was Roxanne Perez, and she looked fucking delicious tonight.
Yeah.
I can see why.
Yeah,
I can see why CM Punk. I can see why CM Punk groomed her.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
he probably groomed her. I think what's her face, his wife, and them have a strange, fetish for getting girls and
Yep.
telling them you can have sex with, this person or not this person. I think it's a weird fetish that CM Punk has, and his
CM
wife
Punk probably
has that.
fucked them. Like, let's be honest here. He probably fucked Cora Jade, and he probably fucked Roxanne Perez. Like, it's not a fucking secret. Just like how they interact and shit. Oh, she's like my daughter. Sure she is. Sure she is. Sure.
She's like, well, it's not really like she's my daughter. It's like I'm her little daddy,
Didn't he say that? Hold on. Didn't he say that shit after he came
No.
back or whatever?
Yes. Yeah, he did say that.
Oh God. There's a new meaning to that. Fuck.
I don't think he actually did, but
Dude, Pat's an idiot. Like
he said that for real. I think he said that for real about dad.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was her daddy. Like, oh fuck. Dude, this is what I hated, right? I love Stephanie coming out, right? But Pat's on commentary doesn't know who the fuck she is. Really? Is he still high? Like, is he still high? Because they, if you guys didn't see the show this morning, Paul Heyman called his ass out on that shit. He's like, you were high last night.
Oh yeah. Well, he's probably smoking all the time. He's drinking, smoking. Probably does it during the shows. Why not?
Is that shit off camera.
It's not like this job's serious to him. It's not like this job's serious to him. He's like doing it like for a side check, basically. Like this is side income to him.
Is it kind of racist to say he's got a little Irish in him, and that's why he drinks a lot and does all this stupid stuff?
Yeah, it is actually. You should go to hell.
Okay,
Yeah, I thought he
I
was
was just
Irish.
asking. Yes, he is Irish.
You guys do know it's going to be Gunther and Pat at Backlash, right? After tonight, that they set that shit up. There's no way Pat's not getting revenge for Michael Cole. Like, Michael Cole's nose got broke, supposedly, but
that's what he said. I don't understand I mean, he probably maybe his nose was in pain, but it didn't look like it was broke at all. It wasn't even bleeding or like swollen. It's just like he kept saying his nose was broken. It didn't even look like Gunther touched his nose. But I don't know. Maybe it wasn't.
You would know if he had a broken nose.
No,
you would
Gunther
know if he had
did.
a broken nose.
Yeah, no, but Gunther touched.
Well, you
his
wouldn't be
nose.
able
He
to
was, like,
fucking.
trying
You
to
wouldn't
get
be
the
able to
talk.
go call a wrestling match. That's for sure.
Yeah, but no, his nose did get touched when fucking Gunther was going for the lock or whatever. He did rub his forearm on his nose like 2 or 3 times. Like, that was dirty, man. I feel like he did that shit on purpose. He's like, I heard what you were saying for all those weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really think he hurt him. I mean, he might have grazed him, but I don't think he broke anything at all. Yeah. As for Pat McAfee, I'm glad he got choked out. He needs to be choked out because he gets on my nerves so much.
Yeah.
So
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead.
Dude, Gunther damn near did that, though. Did you see Pat's face? Like, he was about to kill Pat. Like, that was real. Or it looked real, but, like, looked damn near real.
Well, I gotta tell you something. What we do here is a story, right? The heel, the baby face. The hero, the villain. The good guy, the bad guy. And in those stories, we have to cross a few lines. And I'm going to expose those lines to you today. It was so much better when those lines weren't crossed.
Yep, Netflix debut. That was the worst thing that I was like, he's exposing it. And oh my God. Yeah, that was terrible.
So dumb. Like, why are we doing this? You're really killing kayfabe. I know it died years ago, but you're really putting that coffin shut, bro. Like,
the same person that killed kayfabe is the same person that's running this company. Him and his boy in NXT. Same person. God.
I just ate the fuck out of a burger, bro.
Yeah,
it's funny. Luke always does this and ruins the kayfabe of the show, like during the It's so weird how he does that. Let me tell you something. I was just upstairs and I got in a longer conversation with Leah than like I meant to, and then the dog wanted to be rubbed, and I was patting the dog, and I lost track of time. And I go, I got to get back down to my show. I just left my show. I totally fucking forgot. And then I go, I wonder what's going on the show. I turn the show on, and it's Luke saying, you know, I wish I could choke you out because I wouldn't stop until you were dead. And Leah goes, what the fuck is that? I'm like, that's the show. She's like, what? I'm like, that's great,
crazy, bro.
What we do here is a story.
Is this it right here?
Choke you out.
This is the greatest. This might be one of the best things I've ever heard. This is Luke, this is phenomenal. I was dying.
I don't really think he hurt him. I mean, he might have grazed him, but I don't think he broke anything at all. Nerve so much.
Yeah.
So
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead.
Dude, what the fuck? Oh, I was dying.
That's a moment right there. That's a moment. We'll always have that.
I wouldn't stop.
I think I made you laugh the other day too with a line to like DJ Glaze where I was like, he's like, what she hit him? If she hit her with like an F5, and I was like, I wish your house would get taken away in an F5.
Yeah,
or
that was it.
like that.
That was funny. That was really funny. But this was funny because Leah didn't give a shit about anything I was listening to or doing or nothing, whatever. She couldn't give a shit, and I was walking completely out of the room, and that was playing in my pocket. And I couldn't even believe she could hear it. But she went, what the hell was that? I was like, that was Luke. She goes, is that Luke, the one that said he'd shoot JB's family or whatever? I'm like, yeah, that Luke.
yeah,
like,
that's the only way she knows me.
Yeah, like he threatens to kill. He's always threatening to kill people. Like that's what she said.
Well, you know what,
Like,
dude?
yeah.
You know, I learned from the best because earlier you said you hope someone's family dies.
Yeah.
If you don't like the show, I hope your family dies.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I told her. I'm like, well, what do I say? You know?
You gotta tell her that's where he learned it from. Basically,
Mm-hmm.
I was a bad influence.
Like 2 moments.
Basically-
I was like, that was awesome.
Basically,
Cena getting RKO'd.
Joe Cronin ruined a generation.
Yep. That we know
Ruined,
of.
saved, same difference.
Killed. Well, I ruined my life. But anyway, I think is there anything else we want to say about anything, or are we pretty much? It's pretty. I mean, what do we? I think it was a pretty good show in the end. I didn't think it was gonna be, but I'd give this maybe a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
I have a question. Sorry.
No.
Okay, so what's the point of taking the tag team titles off the women and then putting them back on the same women the next night?
Well, I already answered this question earlier, but
Yeah, Joe already said
I'll do
that.
it again.
Oh, okay.
No, I basically the reason is just because they wanted Becky to come back and get the big pop at WrestleMania. Yay! And then they wanted the celebration of the titles. And then they wanted to basically give Liv Morgan back her belts because those girls didn't deserve to not even be on WrestleMania, but they weren't on WrestleMania just so Becky Lynch could show up. So, wait a minute, wasn't Bayley supposed to be in the match?
Yes, but she got hurt.
Okay, so I changed my
No,
mind.
yeah, Bayley got attacked by someone that we don't know, so it was probably Becky. Yeah,
Right.
And
So
also,
there you go. That's
Becky also
really
had
what
her
it is.
daughter. Becky also had her daughter with her at the press conference yesterday, so maybe she was like, "Hey, you think we can just postpone it until like the next day? Because I want to be there with my daughter. It wouldn't make fucking sense if I just turned heel, which actually wouldn't even matter anyway because kayfabe is dead in those
No, I
press
think it
conferences, but-
makes perfect sense that if Becky attacked Bayley and then took her spot so she could be on WrestleMania, and then they won the belts, and then they gave them back.
No,
to Liv.
I mean in like real life though, like
Oh yeah, for sure.
like yeah, like that's probably why they were like just hold off to till the next night.
I'm gonna doubt that.
Yeah.
I am gonna doubt.
Only because it's like she did have her daughter with her, so I was like, why would she bring her? Like if she had turned heel,
Because it's WrestleMania.
like is she gonna come out with her daughter?
Yeah, but if she turns heel at WrestleMania, that doesn't make sense. Like none of this makes sense then. Like, oh, I come out in place of Bayley and then I turn heel when we don't win, I guess. I guess.
I mean, that's what they did tonight.
I bet Bailey's thinking about going to a different promotion right now. I bet she's thinking about going to AEW right about now.
Why, so they can lose her in the shuffle?
I don't know. The only reason
I don't-
why I'd want to go to AEW is to drive up my cost everywhere. That's the only reason.
I heard. It's so funny. I've heard so many mixed opinions about the. Not to switch subjects, but that's what we're gonna do. I've heard so many mixed opinions about the Tiffany and Charlotte match. Like some people seem to like it, a lot of people didn't like it, some people hated it, and it nobody seems to have a general consensus of who was to blame. Like I've seen a lot of people blame Charlotte and say that match proved she was overrated or something like that. Well, I've seen others say that Charlotte seemed to like come at it with this intensity and tried to bring it out of Tiffany, and Tiffany just wasn't delivering.
I'm going to tell you that's exactly what I think. That's exactly what I think. Tiffany Tiffany was soft in the match, and she was a little bit lost at times. And Charlotte was running the way she wanted to run, and she was intense. Tiffany was okay. I don't think Tiffany was terrible. It wasn't like Jey Uso or somebody last year. It's
no.
Tiffany showed up at a 6 or 7 out of 10 level, and Charlotte showed up at about an 8. And so you got what you got.
This is like if how Chris Benoit, for instance, this is like if Chris Benoit was dialing it up to like a 7.5 or an 8, and he was wrestling a guy who's like a very standard, like a good wrestler, but he's not as intense. Like I can't think of a Chris Jericho, right? Like Chris Jericho is pretty good, but he can't bring that level of intensity of someone like a Kurt Angle or a Brock Lesnar or a Benoit. So that's sort of how it is, but it also is like Tiffany's kind of green too. And it seemed like Charlotte, before the match even started, was I think she even said something to the camera, said something like, "You already know how we get down," or something like she was like ready to kick the shit out of Tiffany. I think she definitely had some sort of animosity because of the whole promo stuff. So she was like, "Okay, you want to say your shit? I'm gonna fucking beat your ass, and maybe you can keep up with me." And I think that's kind of the case that happened with their with Charlotte's match with Rhea. If you go back at it, it's like both of those women just were really intense and hard hitting, and Rhea nearly killed Charlotte with a few botches, but that match was good. I think that is what it was what was lacking in the match was that they just weren't operating on the same wavelength. And you know what's funny? Every match that I was looking forward to ended up not delivering, but every match that I was like so about ended up delivering. Besides the triple threat main event, which I knew was going to be good. I just didn't care about the build up that much.
Yeah, like I'm really impressed with Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre. They did that's a memorable match for some reason.
Yeah, well, I thought it was stupid that Damian got Slayer. Damian got Slayer to fucking, play him out there. But fucking Drew McIntyre can't get his fucking stupid, dumb, fucking Broken Dream song that costs $5. You can't get him that. And then his special entrance, the special WrestleMania entrance that this guy gets is a fucking stupid stone with a fucking shield on it. And there's like a Master Chief helmet like glued on top of it.
He came out like Super Shredder. He was Super Shredder.
Doomslayer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, The Rock, guys! The Rock is going to be on Pat McAfee tomorrow.
Oh God, he's going to be on SmackDown Friday.
He couldn't be at WrestleMania, but he was.
Yeah, he'll show up for Pat. Pat begs him. He'll be like, "Okay, I'll show up. We'll drink some tequila."
Unbelievable. So you think he's going to be on SmackDown?
Yeah, they did this shit last year. Like he was on McAfee's show, and then they showed up on SmackDown.
You know, they honestly need him on SmackDown because tonight's Raw was pretty good. Like I said, maybe a 7 out of 10, and that's good for me. And the SmackDown is in jeopardy of being kind of boring or a dud compared to what they did tonight.
Mad if The Rock shows up on SmackDown, but he couldn't show up at WrestleMania when it fucking mattered.
Well,
but you know what? At least it's something. At least it's something with him. Because we need to have answers. They've had so much time to tell us what the fuck is happening, and they just really didn't. Like they act like Elimination Chamber kind of happened, but not really. And then there was really no mention of Travis Scott at all. The fact that he was the big thing that happened in the end of the main event, the big interference of the WrestleMania, after not being talked about for weeks and weeks and weeks, is fucking terrible. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with this. I don't know how you botch this storyline as much as you do. The storyline lacks any soul. That's what it is. John Cena didn't just sell his soul. He sold the storyline soul because there is nothing. There's no like life to this, in my opinion. It feels just so lifeless, this heel turn. And the fucking fans can cheer and boo as loud as they want at the fucking live attendance. It doesn't change the fact that what I'm watching just doesn't, to me, feel like a compelling storyline, and is just missing so much for me to actually be invested in these promos that Cena's cutting. And also, the promos aren't that great. I think that people are overrating them because now everybody, I don't know when John Cena got this perception that he is like the greatest promo guy of all time. And I'm not saying he's not good on the mic, but I don't randomly these past 6 or 7 years, people started putting John Cena as one of the greatest mic guys of all time, which I just think is fucking bullshit because these promos from him have been decent to some of them are pretty good. But I don't know where this notion of he's the GOAT when it comes to promos. I just think that's bullshit. He cuts promos a lot. I don't know.
It could have been him roasting Roman Reigns years ago. That might have been where it started.
Yeah, because Roman couldn't say shit because he was forced to do a stupid babyface promo. A lot of the times, the reason why that we had this perception that John Cena was great was because, one, he was going after guys who couldn't cut promos at all or weren't the best at all at promos, and also because he was allowed to go off script and say what he wanted because he had all that loyalty and he had built that trust with the company, while guys that he's going after couldn't do those things. And the people that like I never like CM Punk usually got the better of him. He got the better of The Rock a few times, but The Rock kind of owned him a lot throughout the storyline. And even with Cody, I mean, I think Cody. Maybe it's the way that they booked it and tried to like protect Cody, but I think Cody got the better of him in a few of their exchanges. So like, I just don't get this whole notion. And again, I think this has something to do with the younger fans now becoming older and sort of rewriting history, kind of with like what I was talking about with the John Cena and Randy Orton feud, how I never thought it to be that great, but now everybody's like popping for this match and acting like these two were actually having like Stone Cold and The Rock type levels of feuds.
Well, it was. I got to be honest with you. Even though I agree that I didn't like them that much either. But like, that was a big deal back then. Like they were a big deal. They were a main event big deal back then, and I didn't like it. So now that this is an obvious like main event, also nostalgia legends thing, I don't like it really that much because I never liked it in the first place. But because I know that history, I see the point of it being exciting. But I never liked them that much either. You know what I mean? Like, so I would say that like the only time I ever felt like John Cena had a real rival and I was really invested in somebody who was going after John Cena and Cena was going after somebody, I think was just Edge. I think Edge at one point made me feel like, you know, this is the guy's nemesis. And
and they didn't really feud that much. They didn't like
it was like 6 months. I think it was like 6 months, I want to say.
Yeah, they feuded in like 2006 or 2005, 2006. And then Edge went to SmackDown and he actually became, I think, one of the Undertaker's best rivals too. Like Edge, it's so funny. He was kind of the nemesis of John Cena, and then the biggest face on SmackDown at the time was The Undertaker, while John Cena was the biggest face on Raw. So like Edge kind of like worked between the brands as like the top heel, you know? So that like I think Edge is basically the better version of what Randy Orton was, because he could cut promos and was, I think, better in the ring and had cooler matches and better feuds too.
It was the whole look too. You had the rated R thing. The heel
I
thing
popped
was
for
good.
Edge more than I did for like Randy Orton and John Cena.
Well, I wanted
Edge was my guy.
I wanted Edge to beat Cena. That was the time when I was cheering for Edge, because basically anybody but Cena is what I thought.
Edge was my guy, and when I was a kid, because he was a baby face around that time. And I had, when I bought all the DVDs that were like the Undertaker DVDs and stuff like that, there was a lot of Edge matches with the Undertaker. So he basically, like, when I was younger, it was Undertaker and Shawn Michaels, and then Edge were my guys. So and all of them basically retired as soon as I started watching. Like Undertaker was part-time, but Shawn Michaels had already retired by the time I started watching in like August of 2010.
That's crazy. That's fucking crazy.
And then Edge became the world champion after beating Kane, and I was super hyped. And then he retired at WrestleMania 27.
When I was
basically all of my favorites were never there.
when I started watching WWE, like the Rockers had just debuted. You know, like Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty were debuting as the Rockers. Like, that's what's crazy. Like, I watched Michaels' entire career.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you started watching like as he was leaving. Like, that's just wild.
After he already left. Like
Crazy.
I can't remember the exact details, because I feel like I watched wrestling a little bit prior to 2010, but because I knew who the Undertaker was. My cousin was really into it, so he would I would kind of learn from him.
Yeah.
Like stuff that I didn't know. Like I think he played the video games, but I had no clue of what was going on. And I think the first SmackDown I ever watched was July or August of 2010. And the first match I remember like clearly watching on TV was Kane versus Kofi Kingston. And Kane had just become the world champion. And I think that was the same night that Rey Mysterio came out and said that Kane is the one who attacked the Undertaker, which was a big storyline at the time.
Wasn't that when Cena
by the
Evil
way,
came out?
what?
Wasn't that when he did the Cena Evil movie, or was that after that?
This was a little bit after that.
Okay.
This was, I think, this was the same time that the Nexus had just debuted. I didn't see that. I saw like at the time because I didn't have cable. I just had it was playing on like my PHL 17, which is like the local affiliate of whatever the fuck they were playing SmackDown at that time.
Yeah, like the CW or the.
Yeah, right before they moved and went to Sci-Fi for a bunch of years. I got it on that.
They went there after UPN.
That pissed me off.
They did UPN.
That
and then
pissed
they went
me
there.
off so much when I was a kid. That pissed me off when they moved from my PHL 17, which is they moved from that to Sci-Fi.
Yeah,
because I didn't know, and I didn't know where to fucking find it, and I think I cried like a fucking bitch too. I was like, "This is not the first SmackDown. I can't find SmackDown."
That's hilarious.
What a fucking loser I was.
You want to know something insane? Something insane is that in 2003, I was 19 and I was sitting in my bedroom, and one of the things I remember the most is literally fucking playing Halo and then watching SmackDown and then Star Trek Enterprise because they were back to back, and I thought to myself, this is crazy. What a great time to be alive. SmackDown and Star Trek in the same night or whatever.
Yeah, back when Sci-Fi was Sci-Fi and not this stupid.
This was actually
shit it is today.
UPN. This was UPN.
Oh.
Yeah, it was 01.
fuck
It was
you.
03.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
They were on UPN for the longest time until CW absorbed it.
Yep.
When SmackDown went to Sci-Fi, SmackDown had the best intro, which was the fucking Green Day song. I have so much nostalgia for that because
Which
that
one
was
went
great.
to Spike? I thought one of them went to Spike TV. Was it
That was
Raw?
TNA.
That was Raw.
Did Raw
No,
go to Spike? I just remember TNA was on Spike.
Yeah, Raw went to the Spike or something. First, no,
It was on, but it was on USA Network for like 20 years, right?
right. No, they didn't go.
Somewhere
No,
around
I don't. You know what? They didn't go to Spike. They just went to TNT. That was it, right? They didn't go to Spike. We're saying that, but or was it?
Yeah, TNA went to Spike.
Yeah, TNA went
And-
to Spike. There you go. That's what it was.
Yeah, what Luke said.
I remember accidentally watching TNA because I thought it was WWE at one point. And I remember seeing RVD because I knew who RVD was from watching old wrestling DVDs. So I was like, "Why is he in TNA? What is TNA?" And I think they had just called it or renamed it Impact Wrestling. And I don't know, Sting was dressed up like the Joker or something.
That's the song.
Yeah, I just looked it up. Raw was on Spike in 2000.
Wait, is that the
but
song?
It wasn't
Is
Spike.
that the fucking?
Yeah,
Is that the SmackDown intro of
That was the
2010?
SmackDown. Yeah, that was the Green Day song.
Dude, that was the intro video was awesome. It's like the Undertaker's in it.
It's kind of crazy because it, like, you think about it, a lot of these people, it's like Kane, Rey Mysterio, Swagger, Kofi, Big Show.
They're all still wrestling.
They're all
Kofi.
still around. Like the Undertaker, Cody Rhodes is in it, Michelle McCool's in it, Drew McIntyre's in it, MVP's in it, Hornswoggle's in it,
Do you know
Dolph
the
Ziggler.
enemy?
Now we're really political.
So hold on, was
Yeah.
Hornswoggle fired? Did they fire him or did he quit?
Who?
Hornswoggle?
Oh,
They had
yeah,
a no midget
they,
policy.
they released him. Like,
Mind if I do?
No midget policy.
oh shit, Broken Lion.
It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my
Chocolate blend.
I'm excited for the Cena and Orton feud one more time, maybe because as a kid I loved those matches and Orton's best year was 09.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean. I think there's a lot of nostalgia for it, so I understand it. I'm not angry at it. I'm not mad at it. I think it's fun. We'll see what happens. And like I said, they're not exactly my guys, but you know, I'll have fun watching it, and I think it's okay. You know, but definitely I understand that you did. And I did like Orton at that time. I think you said 09. I think that is the year, right, where Shawn Michaels, the year when when Shawn Michaels was feuding for a second with Orton, and then when
2007. That was 2007.
okay, that was fun.
Yeah.
And I also liked Orton with Jericho. So those eras of Orton I thought were really, really good.
Z Pain says the God Z Pain, who I sold my soul to gladfully to win the title. He says that Raw went from USA Network to TNN that eventually became Spike TV.
Right. There you go. That's what it was. Because that's what's so confusing about it. It was TNN. I knew. See, I felt like they were on Spike, but then I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I remember TNN.
Yeah, the last episode on Spike was where they were talking shit about USA Network. Like they kept mentioning it, and it kept getting bleeped.
Wow,
shit was funny.
Well, now they're best friends with them.
Who are you picking for Paul Heyman's new faction besides Braun Breaker and Seth?
I would love it if Becky got involved because I think it would be cool if we had Seth and Becky be like a heel power couple and like a real one too. Because Liv and Dom aren't a real couple. Neither was Dom and Rhea. So it's like these are like a real fucking couple, just like being heels and it'd be fucking making out with each other. I'm getting a boner watching it. No, but no, like I think it would be a cool dynamic to have. And it would also make whatever Becky's doing in the women's division more important just because she's involved with like that main event level storyline with the men, which is why Rhea got so over in the first place. It wasn't just because she was hot, but it was also because she was involved in the men's storylines. So she was able to kind of like cross over. So I think it would be cool if they did that, but they're probably not going to do that because that'd be too fun.
What's Sami Zayn doing? Is he gonna go heel? Sami Zayn?
Maybe. Well, Sammy probably will, and they foreshadowed that months ago with that promo that they cut right after Survivor Series. Remember, Sammy and Seth were like getting back and forth at each other, and Seth was saying that Roman's using you, and you're CM Punk's blah 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 blah. So I think what they're gonna do is, if Sammy turns heel again, they might not do it because we've had so many like heel turns.
If I turn heel,
that recently. If I turn heel,
I had a dream that I had to work with O.J. Simpson in a like,
dude.
It's so
did
weird.
you ever see Did you ever see that interview where he pretends to stab the reporter?
Oh my god! I think we did play that on Monetize this years
No, let me
ago.
show you. Let me show you this. Let me see.
Oh my god! I think we played it. I want to say we played it on the show on Monetize.
Well, did you also see the one where he was doing the punk type show? Punked?
No.
Or like, okay, so I'll send you first.
Send it to
I'll
me.
send you these two first.
I don't know if I have seen it, but I feel like I have seen it.
Okay, well, this is the funniest fucking. Oh my god, bro! This is my favorite. This is one of my favorite fucking videos.
Is it the redhead reporter? Isn't she a redhead or something like that?
Yeah, I'm showing it to you on. You just looking it up now because I was just gonna send it to you on Discord.
Oh,
I remember
my God.
when they tried to examine his brain for concussions or whatever, and they said they wouldn't let him because if it were to be him being concussed, then that would be a reason why maybe he killed what's her name and the other guy.
Yeah. Not Ron Goldman, whatever. What's his
I
name?
sent it in the chat if you wanted to look at it, but
let's see.
And then
make sure that's the one that I seen. I don't see it. Oh, wait, did you send it?
it's in the JCS chat.
Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yep, that's the one. Yeah, he's like stabbing at her. It's fucking bizarre.
Not good. Did not do it.
He's so bizarre. That's so crazy.
Well, he's dead now.
Well, I was Norberg in Police Academy, and I'll kill you too. How about that? My family, I'll kill a white bitch. I'll kill 1 million white bitches, and you'll love it. How about that? All right. Well,
Can't believe the guy.
I wish I could fucking find. I wish I could find this clip So he had a show that was called You've Been Juiced.
Juiced. I think it was just called Juiced.
Juiced. And he had a skit where he's selling white Broncos, and he's like, yeah, this certainly helped me out in a pinch, you know. This is like this guy is the most obvious murderer ever. And he was running around scot-free making books called If I Did It.
Yeah, the book, If I Did It. Yeah.
What an asshole. You know, like, dude, that whole thing with the reporter, like, that's how you know someone is like truly like mentally deranged, like, is the fact that he did that knowing the perception that people have of thinking he's a murderer, and just like, oh no, this will look good. This is funny. I'm just joking around.
But you know why they didn't find him guilty, right? You know why?
Well, yes, I know why.
There's a lot of reasons.
Rodney King. They didn't want another Rodney King, so they.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, also because the fucking cop was a horrible racist person. So like, fucking. It was just bad circumstances, but I don't know. What are you gonna do? You know what though? What was his name? Johnny Cochran, the fucking lawyer.
Yeah.
He's dead now.
He was cutting some fucking like WWF promos about the gloves and shit. Like,
if the glove doesn't fit, you must quit.
You really do have to just like give compliments to just how great of a fucking defense that was, just like putting on the cap at the end of it. And like, he just, you know, obviously terrible that fucking OJ got away with it, but it's like, you know, like, damn, the lawyers watching that must have been like, that's brilliant.
And his former lawyer dead now, but his former lawyer, the Kardashian lawyer, has a bunch of whores for daughters and wife, and he's dead.
Jesus.
I don't know why that was necessary to bring up. Yeah, and that fucking guy who's the janitor at the fucking courtroom, his fucking wife turned out to be a fucking hooker. Like, who gives a shit? That's not what we were talking about. Fucking some guy always gonna have to go on a rant about the fucking Kardashians because they have money and you're jealous. You know, it's really not fucking. It doesn't make you look cool because you're mad at somebody who's more successful than you. Just saying, DJ Glaze.
They literally prostituted their way to the top.
Wow, that's what you think of women, right? Because if a woman's successful, they must have been a prostitute.
She made a porno with Ray J.
Oh, okay. So wait a second. You're saying pornos? If you make a porno, you're a bad person?
Not a bad person, but she admitted to doing pornos and being prostituting her way to the top to get her where she's at.
Okay, so a lady says you're a fucking terrible person. I don't like you.
You know what? In fact, let's all kill ourselves. Good night, everybody. I love you, bro. Thanks for being here. I'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good night, everyone.
All right. Luke, kisses. DJ Glaze, Jesse.
I mean, he might have grazed him, but I don't think he broke anything at all. Nerve so much.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead.
Oh, my God. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up. Thanks, everybody, for being here. Raw after Mania. And I don't know when I'm going to see you guys again next or what's the world has for me, but it was fun trying to, bring back the fire this weekend during WrestleMania and the night after WrestleMania and 2 nights of WrestleMania and all the stuff that we did. We did our best. We did our best we could. But we'll be back again with you at some point coming up this week or weekend, and probably put out some videos, so check those out. Put out some shorts. Definitely look on the Patreon for some content. Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. The Patreon is where you can go to get really weird and all that sort of thing. Shout out to Z Payne, who single-handedly is keeping this show alive, which is crazy to think somebody like that is doing so much craziness. I mean, the second place person is D. Welsh, all the way in second place, D. Welsh. And then the Creeder, Randy Viper, is in fourth place. Nick B., Tim Drake, Mirov, Louis Urdaneta, Mr. Mammoth, and Spectral Citizen in the last spot there. And Z Payne with the gigantic big one, top spot, top dog, big dog, and again tonight with a Larry Bird. So thank you to Z Payne for being a beast for the month of April. We'll see how the rest of the month plays out for the leaderboard, but right now it looks damn like Z Payne is for sure a slam dunk, man. So thank you so much to Z Payne. Raw After Mania, like I said, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Pretty good stuff. Everybody else, let's go play some Last Epoch.
He broke anything at all? Nerve so much?
Yeah.
So,
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead.
I mean, he might have grazed him, but I don't think he broke anything at all. Nerve so much.
Yeah.
So,
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead. Yeah.
So,
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead. Yeah.
So,
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead.
So,
I kind of wish I could choke you out, but I wouldn't stop until you were dead.
Somebody just said, what was the poll at? We forgot to talk about the poll, but I do want to say that this poll, the poll was more positive than both nights of WrestleMania, so people enjoyed this Raw more than WrestleMania. 76% positive, but for WrestleMania, it was about 60% positive. So people actually... You know, people were harder on WrestleMania than they were Raw tonight. Very interesting. 284 votes, so there you go. Not the 800 votes the WrestleMania poll got, but still the poll stayed about the same anyway. Good night, everybody. Thanks for being here. Thank you so much. You could have been anywhere. So many choices wrestling-wise. You could have been anywhere at all, but you were here. I love you all. I hope you all have good weeks, and everybody does okay, and everybody stays healthy and happy. And do your best. Do your best, baby. Make it a good week. And we'll see what happens. Thank you so much. Shout out to Z Payne, man, for being such a big dog. And, you know, Broken Lion for coming in a couple of times tonight. I'll see you guys later.